Hey everybody, this is the Moon and the Stars. I am your host, RJ MuTTaylor. I am here with Dr. Clarice Barrett, and our topic of today is vibrations. And we are in the mellow yellow mood, and Dr. Clarice can tell you why. And welcome, Dr. Clarice.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us this evening for another enlightening topic. I will be talking about how to raise your vibrations and what the vibrations are about. And then after I do that, then I will lightly touch on what's coming down as far as planet weather. You might say I call it planet weather, what the planets are doing, and what's coming up in the future here very shortly. And I've already been getting effects from it as of today. So I'll cover that also before we leave the show tonight. But what most people are not aware of is the constant vibrations that the universe operates off of. And it affects the people also. It not only affects the planet, but it also affects the people.
Does it affect dogs?
Everything. Anything that's living, okay? Everything has an energy vortex to it. Now, it seems like the planet is standing still, but we're traveling at 67,000 miles per hour in one direction, and then we're in the opposite direction, rotating at 1,000 miles per hour just to go from day and night. So our planet appears to be standing still, no movement. Sorry, guys, it's quite the opposite. And should our planet ever stop and lose its gravity, you would be smacked up against the wall like a smashed little tomato instantly. And of course, this is what happened during the biblical flood 13,000 years ago. The earth did stop for 32 seconds. And this is why oceans swapped oceans. But we won't get into that particular topic tonight, but I'm just explaining how the vibrations work. And the vibrations control everything. It controls fear, it controls stress, it controls anxiety, it controls addictions, it controls bad health, it controls good health. And everything has a vibration to it. And there's 9 steps to help increase your vibrations for the betterment of your benefit. And there's 3 levels to these vibrations. So I will read them off to you so I won't miss any wording. The first vibration is slow and solid at 10,000 cycles per second. Includes illnesses, fear, anxiety, stress, depression, and ego consciousness. The second vibration, a little faster but still slow at 20,000 cycles per second, represents symptoms-free and feeling average and group consciousness. The highest vibration, which is through light and sound and also through the reach to spirit, is at 100,000 cycles per second, which means perfect health, being incapable of being immobilized, and God or unit consciousness. Now, all this is all science, it's all physics, it's all been proven. And they have found through studies that if you do these 9 steps, that you can increase your energy vortex to a higher cycle vibration. So I will read the 9 off to you. I'll speak them very slowly so everyone can write them down. The number 1 is through meditation. Number 2, letting go of negative thoughts. 3, gratitude and appreciation. 4, generosity. 5, connecting with others in good spirit. 6, forgiveness. 7, giving love. 8, eating natural, organic, live vegetables. 9, electromagnetic therapy of chakra balancing through sound therapy. And so I have those sound therapies on my website. It's a free package for healing, and if everyone spent at least 5 minutes a day while they were meditating, it will help raise their vibrations and so they can have a better good health. But our conduct is also involved because everything has energy to it. Everything has a energy vortex vibration to it. Everything in the universe that is of good energy has a vortex energy of moving to the right, and negative goes to the left. And so it's the yin and yang effect, which was highlighted, in the movie of Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. And so it's the same thing. So the more negative thought you have, the more drama you have in your life, your energy vibrations are so low that it's allowing illnesses. And so those can get down into your root chakras. And this is why I do chakra therapy. And that is one of the 9 steps to clean out those vortexes and bring it back to balance. That's kind of like fine tuning. Everybody doesn't know that your vortexes in your body, which there are 7 of them, have actual energy connections to those vortexes. And the real body is all electrical vibrational energy. Your body that you're looking at daily is just an announcement for your real body. And this crystal that I'm wearing tonight is what your real body looks like. It's more crystalline in energy. And then, of course, you have 7 layers to your aura, which is your spiritual skin. So you not only have your regular skin, but you have a spiritual skin also, which is your soul and spirit that in-houses that. So please, everybody, kind of practice those 9 steps and watch. Within 7 weeks or sooner, you'll start getting great benefits. And I try and tell everybody, no matter what happens, you can't control others. You can only control yourself. And so how you respond, you get back into the universe. It's also like the part of the laws of attraction. What you put out into the universe will biofeed back onto you. And so if you get angry or upset, say negative things, whatever, that's put out in the universe, and guess what? That comes back. And all it does is create negativity and cause you more problems, drama, everything else. When you just say, okay, well, it's not a perfect match, I'll go about my way. If the other person is not being kind or appropriate or respectful. And so, got to come from a higher consciousness, everybody, please. Because that's what's going to get you through life, because in the end of all of it, and someday I'll talk about that subject, why we're here and what the purpose is all about. But what is weighed at the end of time is your heart. And so you can't allow events or people to turn your heart cold. That is the test on this planet. And so we're here to learn. And so part of everything, and that's what the planets do when they're changing signs and the different effects, which I'll be talking about shortly here. They are part of the lessons that we learn on this planet. I find it so amazing through physics that there's answers to everything, really. If people want to seek them and find them, there is an answer to it. And so it's quite amazing, and I find it very fascinating field to be in, and I love my work. And so, just like a gentleman was talking to me today, and he says, Clarice, what got you into all this? I says, to be honest with you, I says, somehow I knew this was my mission, and then I had 2 mentors in my earlier years that guided me in my career. And they told me and confirmed that this was my mission. And so he says, well, what is that mission? And I said, just a moment, let me get it. And that mission is to reveal that physics and science without spirituality is lame. and spirituality without physics and science is blind.
Yes, I really like that quote.
And so I says that's what this time of at the end of the Pisces age and the age of Aquarius is all about, is blending the two of them for truth.
Well, I think it's really, important. People are always skeptical about these kinds of things, and they should be.
Yeah.
Especially with all the different people that, at this point, I understand they really want to be in it, and they think they belong in it, and they're just attracted to it, but they don't necessarily have it, and it's tough because although there are degrees, it's almost like nobody really expects people in various parts of the healing arts, especially the metaphysical part of it, particularly astrology at times, and other things of a psychic nature, and so it's a very unregulated profession, which is great. In many ways, it's wonderful. I mean, do we really need governmental regulation on everything? I think not. And, in this day and age, it probably is better that this is a little wild, but it kind of means that we have to govern ourselves and use our own best, really the best word is discrimination, and, to really find, the people that really can be
right, babe.
effective and positive in your life. There's a lot of kooks out there.
Yeah, it was just like the person I was talking to today, I just asking me my qualifications.
Yeah.
He said what he liked and seen was that I had a very long term, over 20-some years of reputation for my work, and have been recognized for it. And so he felt that gave him security, especially with the type of recognition. I've been involved with the Palm Springs Police and Fire Department,
Yes.
the city government. I've been highly decorated by, distinguished women of Southern Nevada, very high.
I know you've been decorated.
Yeah, I've been really decorated. I got different color of feathers. But that gave him security also.
Yeah.
That I came with a background, a reputation, a status in my field.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's, in these short little video blasts, and it's hard to really get to know each other. And so much of this work is, very personal, and it is to the science of, your chart, and not necessarily, a lot of people have had charts done. It's funny because people who have experience, they go, oh, well, I've had my chart done, but one of the things that you alerted me to, and I was like, oh, that as you grow and evolve, your chart does as well.
Yeah.
So it's not as simple as just the time and date and where you're born, and then you got this chart and that's it. Well, guess what? It changes as you change.
It goes on.
It goes on. So it's something you do. You don't just do once. It's something you kind of gotta keep up with.
The universe designed it to take you through different signs to experience them.
Well, it only makes sense. It only, to me, look, when I didn't know much about it, it always seemed it just didn't gel with me that, they can just take this little bit of information, the time and the date and the place that you were born, and then, your sign, and then, it's just set for, everything in your life is just set. It just seems that, things evolve and change, and it makes sense that you would go through different phases at different times. I mean, just the way, in my observation of the way nature moves, it really wouldn't be, set like that. And you're the first one that brought it to my attention. I was like, oh, it's one of the reasons I could, you started making sense to me. I went, that makes sense. And again, it was not anything that I've heard. I've been around psychics and want to be psychics and want to be astrologers and people that just Anyway, let's not talk about them.
Yeah, that's okay. In Las Vegas, I'm known as Mystic Clarice.
Las Vegas, yes.
Yeah, Las Vegas, I'm known as Mystic Clarice, besides Dr. Clarice. But a mystic is a person who carries all of the ancient knowledge. And that was astrology, the energies, the vibrations, your chakras, how the universe works, the planets, and they have the actual foundation, how everything operates. Do I have natural intuition? Yes, I was born with that, but I didn't leave it with that. I knew that I had to also lead by knowledge and be able to academically explain how all this operates and functions so that people could wrap their mind around it and give them the answers. Because believe it or not, the world is a very bunch of curious little kitty cats, and they ask a lot of questions. And so I enjoy being able to share and answer to their questions.
Yeah.
The planets have dominion over this earth. And it not only controls everything on this planet, but it also controls us.
Actually, I've got a question for you, because I know that you've been talking about the vibrations and all these different planetary influences and that are happening. But actually, I was watching the news today, and they were talking about these solar flares on the sun. Are you aware of those? And they're causing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to scare everybody, but if they want to type in the Tartus rotation, that our planet goes through cycles, even the sun has cycles. And about every 4,500 years, the sun will give off big, huge solar flares. And what most people are not aware of also in the world is that the Great Pyramids of Egypt are not in their original form. And those were changed about 1275 AD and due to an earthquake in Cairo, and they removed the capstones from the Great Pyramids of Egypt. It had a white limestone capping and smooth and polished like white marble. And on top of that was a band of numinite. Now, numinite is a black stone with multiple crystals in it, very beautiful stone. And if anyone wants a stone to wear or to have on their person to attract negative energy, that is the stone to have. It's called numinite.
Oh, luminite. Yeah, you recommended that I.
Yes, I did a long time ago, yes. And anyway, be honest with you, those of higher spirit who was ever in charge had put that band of numinite on top of the Great Pyramids for our protection when the TARDIS rotation would transpire, so our planet would not burn up. But guess what, guys? They broke it up and they divided it, and it's missing. And so our planet now is open to huge solar flares in the future, and that's not good. That's not good.
So what are the effects of these solar flares on us now? Because they are happening sort of nowish. And,
it's raising the photon and energy encounter scenario.
Okay.
Okay. And
a little more about that.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's like, okay, let's like for an example, we're going to be having 2 eclipses coming up this next month. An eclipse is like 3 times of the energy of a new moon, all at one time. Eclipses bring about major change. And so a lunar eclipse is feminine energy, and so it brings about out the emotions. That very emotional stuff can transpire at that time. And the sun eclipse is male energy. And so that can bring about, aggression and strong, forceful attitude and energy. So we got some big stuff coming down next month. And we're already feeling the effects of it. It shouldn't have started hitting until the 23rd.
That's what I'm saying. Tell us about how this stuff is hitting us. What can we expect? I mean, obviously, we talked before a little bit about tempers being short, and road rage, and just people being agitated in general. And
let me go through each one of them to give you a general idea. Okay. Now, we're going to be going into another Mercury retrograde in the sign of Virgo. So anyone who has Gemini, Virgo, or the number 5 in their numerology are affected every 90 days by Mercury retrograde. And it makes those who are affected by the ruling planet to stop and slow down in their thinking and go back over everything before moving forward. Even people whose sun signs are not Virgo and Gemini, if it is anywhere in their chart, that particular house is affected. Okay? And they need to find out and have a chart done with me to see if they do and what houses are going to be affected and where the Mercury is in their houses. So there's 12 houses. And so, and each house has a different interpretation to them. And so it's very important, to see what house and what life lessons may be being brought onto somebody, Now, Mercury is supposed to go actually retrograde August 12th, but there's always a 10-day influence prior. So around the 1st of August, you can really start seeing the effects. But for some strange reason, seems like the planets or the universe is moving a little faster this summer than normal. The things have been happening about almost a week before it should be happening. So that is different. That's strange, and I think that's due to the photon encounter because we're getting faster and faster in speed. So I think that's due to that, to be honest with you. And so we're like about 3 days ahead of time before feeling the influence. And I've had clients today already starting to feel those effects. Now, Mercury rules communications, transportation, all forms of communication. And so, and it also rules electronics of all types.
So, so the short version is everything's still going to be kind of screwed up for a while longer.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, because Mercury's going to be retrograde until September 5th, and it won't be clear until September 15th. I'm sorry. But along with that, the next planet that's going retrograde is Uranus. Now, Uranus rules unexpected events, things that were not really, you may say, it kind of rules two things. It can rule things that are out of your control, things that were not anticipated but could be anticipated. Like if you have an elderly parent or whatever, and you know, they're getting up there in age, but you don't know exactly what day something's going to happen.
Right.
Uranus brings it about. Okay, it's all of a sudden it's just like in a twinkle of an eye. And and also, now I want to go back to Mercury for just real quick because I need everybody to be very careful in all their communications. They're driving because there's more accidents during a Mercury retrograde. Be very careful because all this energy, because we're going to have 5 planets along with these 2 solar eclipses all mixed together. And they're going to bring about major changes. So everybody's energy is very, very intense right now. And a lot of people are not liking the changes that's going on. A lot of people are losing their jobs. There's a lot of companies that are closing out businesses. Big, major corporations are closing many stores. And so a lot of people have been losing their jobs. A lot of people have been losing their partners because of Pluto being retrograde. That's another one of the planets that's been retrograde. So there's been a lot of emotional stuff. And Mars is in this also. It's not retrograde, but it's squaring Uranus. Okay? And so it's bringing very high temperaments with people. They're so stressed out with all what's going on. And then along with this focus on energy that's on the planet now, it's slowly starting to drive everybody insane a little bit. And so we just need to all calm down and be very comfortable within ourselves and try and just be of higher consciousness and try and flow with the flow right now, everything will be done and over with after this next major eclipse of the new moon. I'm still not finished revealing all what the other planets rule and why you'll see why this is so important. And so I talked about Mercury, we talked about Uranus, Saturn, the next one, guys. Now, Saturn has had everybody just, wow, disciplined and having to be methodical. Even having to count pennies to keep going and go from week to week. But that's what is required. And it's required everyone to be responsible for their actions, conduct, and deeds. It is the father planet, it's the teacher planet, and it is the karma planet. And so, yeah. Saturn is the karma planet. So, if everybody's been looking for justice, they will see that after August 25th.
Well, they sure didn't see it today.
Yeah.
OJ got paroled.
Yeah. So, but anyway, if you've been disciplined and you've been focused and you've been kind and everything else, then Saturn will reward you when it goes back direct. If you have not, then you're not going to like the outcome when it does go back direct, because it will also teach you a very hard lesson. So that's not a good planet to mess with. So each of the planets has an interpretation of what it rules. Neptune is retrograde right now. Neptune controls your emotions, and it can create confusion, cloudiness, confusion of different things that are going on, what's going on, and so you're not real clear in your decisions and stuff like that. It also rules oil and perfumes, and there's many of the planets rule many different things. And then we've got Pluto retrograde. Pluto will be retrograde until September 28th. Pluto is the planet that brings everything up for you to go over with. It's kind of like time for spring cleaning. Not only with your relationships, friends, your business, how you want to proceed with things, working on new things. And Pluto asks you and giving you time to do these things and get it all done yourself. Once again, it's like the planet Saturn. If you have not been responsible, if you have not tried to move forward with positiveness and try and create something, guess what, guys? It will do it for you, and you may not like the outcome of what it does and decides for you. And this is your opportunity to do what you want to do and how you want to. It's kind of like you're cleaning out your garage, and you're in control, and you know what you want in your garage and what you don't want.
That's exactly what I've been doing.
Yeah. Instead of having two other people you don't even know cleaning out your garage.
No.
That's not going to work. And that's what the planet Pluto does. But Pluto also represents death and rebirth. And so there's a lot of people who've been passing away. And if I did a chart on them, I would find Pluto in the 4th or the 8th house, and also connected to the 12th house. There's a lot going on, a lot of energy going on. And so I just need everybody to please patience, and be very kind and very thoughtful to everybody and be respectful, at least until the first week of September, please. Okay, and I will let everybody know when everything's clear, everything's good.
I just say, you just gotta, don't take the high road, don't take the low road, maybe don't take any road at all. Drive as little as possible, kind of lay low. If you are out there driving, drive slower than usual. Let the other person go first. Don't,
Yeah. I just need everybody just to be very respectful and kind.
Choose your battles too, and don't sweat the, again, choose your battles. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff, really.
Yeah.
Wait until they're, unless there's some reason to get into it, there really isn't any reason at all.
Exactly. And if you can't talk about it and compromise about it and be nice to each other about it, then don't say nothing.
Well, and don't, the funny thing is I've gotten to this point where I kind of don't expect people to be polite per se or necessarily reasonable, because
Right.
I'm sort of expecting the other. I'm just like, my defenses are different than they usually are. Like I'm kind of ready to duck, or I'm kind of prepared to change the subject. Like people try to get into things. They're purposefully antagonistic, and I know that they're going to be.
That
So
is Mars squaring Uranus.
so I come in kind of prepared with my own subject matters. I
Yeah.
found that I can just sway. I don't have to even answer direct questions. I've learned from the politicians. You don't really answer the question if it's if it's challenging to you, just change the subject. Just so I've got 10 different subjects that these are the things that I would like to talk about. I don't know if other people want to or not, but I can either participate in what they want to talk about or not. And I realize that is it within my control. Like nothing is within my control, which is kind of annoying. But like I said, with being aware of the planetary positions and my own position within that, and it just makes me aware and prepared.
Right.
I've been like laying low. Not that I've just been staying home in bed with the the blanket over my head or anything. I mean, I'm out there. You got to do things. But like I said, I'm just kind of prepared for chaos, and it is chaotic. And then that's good too, because you end up being, there is chaos kind of all around, and you end up being a calming factor within that chaos, which kind of brings the chaos down very quickly. I mean, because that energy spreads too. I mean, they can, you can either have the chaos kind of spread throughout, or if you're strong and forthright and don't, fall into the mierda. It's just funny. That's what we call it around here. You don't fall into the mierda.
What happens, honey, is everybody is quick. There's a lot of people out there that are critical and nitpicky, okay? And they look for flaws. And then you got a lot of people out there who want to explain themselves and tell the other person, no, you're wrong about that, or your assumption or your perception. What's important is what you know within yourself. People get too much into defending themselves, and, learn to pick your battles. Because I can tell you this, how this energy works. A lot of people don't realize this at all, that they think that they are in a makeup of their own being. Let's put it that way. Guess what, guys? No, you're not. There is not one aspect of your personality I cannot put to a astrological sign. And so people have been raised to believe, because none of this knowledge was available to them. It's been kept from them for years and thousands of years. This is how the power elite got in power in the first place. That's like talking to a head surgeon with 12 degrees with somebody who's not even gone to kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? And so they have had this knowledge for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and so this is what got them in the position of power. But people don't realize that they live in a two-dimensional hologram, and that two-dimension is positive and negative, yin and yang, polar opposites. That is the third dimension. Yeah. There isn't anything you can't look at on this planet that doesn't have a polar opposite to it. Carpet. Oh, it can be warm and nice. That's the positive aspect of it. But the negative is the darn thing gets dirty. And so there isn't anything you can look at in the third dimension that doesn't have positive and negative to it.
Now you're making me nervous. Can you see my house? We just did the rugs.
But everything has a positive, negative. But do you have free will? Yes, you do. But once again, that is programmed too. I'm sorry to say. You live in a live
It's such a strange thing. 'Cause,
hologram that is interactive. You can be a co-creator into your destiny by your responses, because your responses will, but part of the programming is with cause and effect. And so people don't realize this. And this is like one big computer program that we're in. And so even all of our life lessons and everything else in our development, our growth, is all due to these planets and how they go through our signs and everything.
That's an interesting way of describing the whole thing, because another way that I describe kind of the awareness that you bring to people. It's sort of like, if you think about your whole life as a computer, you actually give a peek at the software.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, and most people don't really want to do this. This is funny because I'm one of those tech guys, and it's sort of like when you decide that and that's the only reason I'm an artist by nature, and sort of not a computer person per se, except that the logical side. Anyway, I'm a hard one to figure out, but it does appeal to me, and the fact that you can peek behind the screen, and most people don't want to do this. Where you go up there, you click view, and then you look at the view source code. View source code. Well, that's how you see everything that's going on here, and it's like in the same way people don't fix their own cars. I mean, I don't fix my car. That's not the area where I'm interested, but I am interested in my life, and really, because I do both things. Working with you is sort of like view source code. It's very, very similar. So it really gives you insight to what's, what are the symbols, and what are the arrows, and what are the, what is creating what's happening, what you see on the screen, what you see in your life.
Right. And seeing everything that I'm talking about is all backed up through physics and science.
Yeah. Well,
and sacred geometry. And this is what I've studied. This is what I'm trying to bring everybody's awareness to, and how it is connected even to spirituality. Because the negative influences of the planet, of the third dimension, is there's no rules. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. But if you have your knowledge and my knowledge,
yeah, you can be a nasty.
You can change. You can actually even change the programming. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. I mean, basically, what I saw on the screen, something wasn't where I wanted to be. I wanted the text over here and the picture over here, and I wanted exactly this much space between. And I wanted exactly this font. I wanted exactly, and I didn't have. It wasn't giving me enough choices. So I realized that I would have to, whether I liked it or not. If I really want it that way, I'm going to have to learn this programming so that I can make it how I want it to be, which is exactly how this is in life, which is really funny. So I can see why I'm attracted to both, and why they are interconnected. People wouldn't necessarily see it that way, but
I'm saying this is why I've really, to be honest with you, it's really funny because I have women say to me in the past, and I get them every single time. They'll say, "Clarice, my husband, he went out on me. He did this to me. He did that to me. He did this to me. He did that to me." I said, "Let me ask you one question." He said, "What's that?" I says, "Does he believe in spirituality? Does he believe he has to answer to anyone higher than himself in the future?" She says, "Oh, no, he don't believe in that." I said, "Well, then he's not obligated. He's not doing wrong. He's free to do as he pleases." I said, "See, it's only those who want a better life and who want to live a positive energy that have to answer to the social rules of conduct."
Yeah.
But I told her, I says, "But we have a chance to grow and move on with our energy. Theirs will decease and go to ruin and destroy itself."
Well, I suppose we could all just let whatever happens happen. We don't have to control anything. We could just
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's so funny if you stop and think about it. how everybody will sit back and say, well, this person's not doing this right, they're not doing that right, they're not doing that right. But have they ever figured out whether or not what side they believe on? Are they a positive person and who believe in spiritual conduct, or are they of the negative who don't believe in any rules whatsoever?
Right.
You know, and if they don't believe in any rules whatsoever, they're free to do as they wish. So just if you don't like that kind of conduct, stay away from those kinds of people. About that simple, you know. And even women who date, you know, I will tell them, pick out 5 things that's the most important to you before on your first date, and you can find out if you want to date them again on a second date. I said, let's find out the important things first before you get emotionally involved, you know. But needless to say, you know. So, sorry guys, I'm on 24-hour call. I'm a very busy, crazy lady. Everybody's got problems, and I'm trying to work them out. And so, wish me luck on all that. I need all the support I can with all the craziness out in the world. And I try and keep everybody happy and positive and not go down rabbit holes and, you know, keep everybody on track, you know, and wishing them well and giving them blessings. Because I'm also a holistic minister, so that's part of my task, also a mission on this world. So, but anyway, do you have any last minute things before we sign off tonight?
Well, I'm just going to ask you one more time about why we're why we're in the color yellow, which is, I mean, I had to dig for this. You know, yellow is not one of my big. Anyway, just I don't have a lot of it.
Yeah, you should get.
So why are we in yellow, and for how long? And what's the next
color? Today is the last day of yellow.
Oh.
Okay, today is the last day of yellow. Yesterday and today was yellow. And so
I just found it today.
No, I didn't.
I've only been wearing it for an hour. I was planning on carrying this into tomorrow.
I even texted you and said, don't forget your yellow. But anyway.
So, okay, yellow's over today.
Yeah, well, see, the moon changes signs every 2 to 2.5 days.
Okay.
And so sometimes you'll see me post for 2 days, sometimes just 3 days. But it's actually like 2.5 days. But, you know, mathematically, it'll show, you know, 3 days.
You mean even I, like the rest of the people, have to actually pay attention? Really?
Yeah. And see, and so I have a calendar. I know what the moon is daily. And in the future, you know, you can only get these at the end of the year for the new year. Everybody, please get one. And if you want, I can show you how to utilize it. You'll know what's going on by the hour. Very, very informative. So, starting tomorrow, okay, we will be, today's the 20th, and tomorrow's the 21st, Friday, we'll be in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer, the colors are silver and white and cream. And so what that is that each planet has an energy contributed to it. Once again, everything's programmed. And so each sign has energy colors in their vibrations, and the vibrations relate to those vibrations. Sounds strange, but it's true, and they've been proven that with physics. And so we're just getting out of the sign of Gemini with the color yellow, which rules all forms of communication. And if you go for a job interview or you're doing any kind of a meeting with that's really important with communications, wear yellow. I don't care if you wear all black, just wear a yellow scarf, but wear all yellow of some form, you know, with whatever you're wearing, because
well, that's today. That was yesterday and today, but tomorrow is, you said. And for how many days?
Silver, white, and creams. And the moon will be in Cancer, so everybody's emotions will be very emotional.
What about, okay. Now we're going to go into fashion a little bit. This show has just a little bit of everything. What if you have white that also has black in it? Like, you know, is black and white stripes okay? Because you said silver, which I do have some silver too. White is white on its own. That's a little bit hard. Solid white. Like I have some things that have some black in it also.
Okay. But just as much white as you possibly can get.
Okay.
Okay. And also I'm getting a lot of following on this people are thanking me. They're finding that it has changed their mood and their attitude and the responses that they're getting. And they're also enjoying going shopping for new clothes to meet all these.
Exactly. Well, I'm telling you, the group that the group, I can't, you know, I can't tell everybody everything, but the group that we're going to see tomorrow, it's funny because I did meet my friend for yoga last week, exactly a week ago, and I did know it was orange. I forget what sign and why, but again, I did remember these guys.
Orange. You look very
And so I had the chance to, you know, we communicated before. So I said, oh, and I didn't even say why. I just said, all I said is, Dr. Clarice says, wear orange. And so they just did. And it was really funny though, because the reactions just, and I think it started because they noticed we were matchy. They go, oh, you two must have, they go, oh, you two must have gotten the memo because we were both in orange. And actually I was like, well, actually there was a memo and we did get it. And then we were all laughing about the fact that we were doing, and then they go, oh, well, next time. And then they said, oh, well, make sure you put out the memo that I'm included. Like they wanted to be included with it. And again, we were all in a good mood. And it's sort of like I said, well, energetically, we're supposed to be. I mean, that's the thing, is that it's supposed to work first for yourself and then reflect onto others. And I could see it kind of happening. It was very obvious. And so yeah.
these video things, interviews that I'm doing and trying to bring.
As a matter of fact, for the group, I'm going to make sure that I blast it out. I'm going to let. It's almost like it should be the white party.
Okay. Yes. And so Shayna, it's her birthday, and she's already told me I'm wearing white, Clarice.
Well, I was trying. Okay, she already knows. I was trying not to mention names specifically, but I guess everybody knows that we know Shayna. She's a friend of ours. Yeah. But yeah, all right. So it's the white party tomorrow.
Yes, and I'll be wearing white and black.
Ah, good, because I got some black to shove in there too. I can't help it.
All right,
everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your own white party. And
many blessings to everybody. Please
blessings.
Stay calm, and the more you stay calm, the more blessings you will receive. Please, namaste.
Namaste. Good night.
Good night.